Hi everyone, it's the weekend, so that means it's a Lavinia Stamps video tutorial from me to you. And I loved making this, I really did. And I'm looking forward to showing you and sharing with you how I created it. Using the Lilium set, a few masks, stencil or two, and some distress inks. So let's go then. So I'm starting off with a piece of multifarious cardstock, A4, folded, creased and cut to 14 centimetres in width by 20 centimetres in length. And then I'm also using a Sweet Poppy Stencil rectangle aperture mask. That pops on to the card, which now is cut to the right size, and placed down on top of a magnetic sheet that will grip the stencil and hold it in place, and then that will give me a lovely border stroke frame for my card. So I'm now looking for a pencil, and I'm just lightly going to draw down and around the mask like so, leaving it in place. My first Lavinia Stamps moon masks now, and I'm using the negative part of the mask, and I'm just popping it in, and it's really butted up against the side of the Sweet Poppy Stencil rectangle mask. I just want to check that the gap at the top and the gap at the bottom are identical, and then that will ensure me, or rather I will be able to tell that I have it in the right place, in the middle. Then I'm going to get the other part of one of the Lavinia Stamps masks, and this is a small moon, the positive image. I'm going to pop that on there like so. And along with a piece of tape, if you haven't got, by the way, one of these rectangle stainless steel masks, you can use this tape. It's a stencil tape, so it won't harm your card, and just place it all around the outside and make your own border frame with that. So I'm just taking a bit of the tape because I want to ensure that this small moon mask won't move. I want to tape it down to hold it tight, like so. And then I shall ink up this area of the moon aperture mask. I'm using speckled egg distress ink first, and a makeup brush. It's quite a new pad, so I don't want to put too much colour on to begin with. I'm just getting a bit of copy paper just to see how much ink is actually on there. As it turns out, there isn't very much, so I'm going to pop some more on. And then coming down from the top, and then up from the side of that smaller moon mask. Just layer the colour on. Don't worry about the blend. It will soak in, and also there's going to be a stencil over the top soon. But when the cardstock soaks up the ink, it will sort of soothe it out as well, and then it will be a finer blend. I want to make sure that edge is nice and crisp coming up from the bottom. fair amount of pressure on the head of the brush, just to get some of that ink down. Don't worry too much if it looks a bit uneven. That will be fine. I think that will do me there. Leaving it all in place, and now I'm taking White Orb stencil from Lavinia Stamps. I'm just going to place some of the smaller circles over the top. And with dried marigold, another makeup brush, gently does it, hold it in place and just lightly go through the aperture of the stencil. Pick up the circles, not too much pressure on the head of the brush. Different pressure in different areas will give you more depth or a paler colour depending on what you want. And that will do nicely. Okay, so remove this one and the larger one. Just give them a wipe over with a bit of kitchen towel, they'll be fine. And I'm taking one of the other negative masks from Lavinia Stamps Moon Masks. You'll find all these on the website. And just popping that down like so. Not too bothered about, I'm not going right close to the edges here. I'm just going, I just want to concentrate on the middle. So I'm not bothered about the actual positioning. Taking again dried marigold and the brush to match. Just going in the middle, circular motion. Not coming in from the sides. I just want to concentrate on the middle. So it's in one place, just going round and round and round and round until you're happy with the depth of colour that you've got. That should do me. Then taking another moon mask. This time it's slightly larger than the original one that I used. Pop that on like so. Maybe I want it over just a smidge more there. And I'm now using Dusty Concord. Oh, actually, it might be the smaller one. I'm telling you lies. It may be the small one that I need to use. Let me see if it's this one. Yes, it is. As you were. It's this smaller one. So not this one. Spoilt for choice, yeah? Right, so it's a smaller one. Dusty Concord, that's correct. And another makeup brush. I'm being careful because my ink pad is very wet. Just check yours. It's a very strong colour. And just coming out now, holding it tight, coming out quite a way just to give a hazy, colourful halo all around the edges of this mask. Try not to let it move, hold it tight. There's a nice haze all the way around, so the circle is really well defined. Coming out, adding bits of colour, why not? Lots of pressure on the head of the brush so I don't have to re-ink. And then that should give me, yes it does. Look at that, that looks good. Okay, I might even go in a little bit more, being careful with the orange again, just to give that a bit more colour in the middle. Going back into the ink pad here, dried marigold. Yes, that's nice. Now, for a bit of a contrast, taking the white orbs again and looking for one of the larger but not huge circles. So one of the larger ones, yes, that size of about, what was it, a 10p piece? Just popping that down. So I've got some in the white area, which is now purple, of course, because of the dusty Concord. Some in the blue area and some on the dried marigold area. And using a pink brush this time. Being careful, I don't want to go all over the place with this colour. Tipping it up. Just got the lip of the brush, very gently at all. That's it. Round and round and round. Just to give it some colour, like so. That's good. Right, so that's all the stenciling and masky stuff. Now we're on to the stamping, and that's quite easy to do. So now this can come off, and if you've used tape, time to take that off as well. And then you get a real good look at this. It's lovely and crisp, it's colourful, but at the same time it's gentle colours. That's what I was aiming for as well. So moving that magnetic sheet well away, I've now got my stamping mat here underneath the card. Get the inks out of the way before they go in places that they shouldn't go into. And I have an acrylic block. You can use a stamp mat or a stamp press if you wish. Acrylic block, VersaFine pigment ink, onyx black, gentle tapping, and making sure the whole stamp is well covered. This was re-inked last night, this ink pad. I try and do that before I do these videos so that I can be confident that the ink pad is inked, but the ink has had time to soak in overnight and be evenly distributed. That looks about right to me. I need some kitchen towel just to take away the surplus ink here. And then we're going to place this down, and I want it to be on the bottom, to meet the bottom of that frame. It's not quite there, but anyway, it will be okay. I can take it down with a bit of black pen so it's not touching the line as I want it to. So pressing quite firmly, like so. And then up. That's lovely. I'm just taking a black polychromos pencil. You can use any pencil you like, and I'm just taking that black down to the bottom of that pencil line that I've drawn around as the frame, so that it's meets it and anchors it That's okay. Other than that, it's perfect. One more stamp to go, and that is the word love. This image isn't dry. I can see that it's still glistening with the ink, so I'm going to be careful not to touch it. This is a delicate stamp, the word love, so I'm not going to press down too heavily. It's going to be firm, so it's in this area, down, press up, so that I get a nice crisp image. Wipe that over. Now a couple of enamel accents I think would go down well. Just to decorate. Now I used white on my original card. Now I'm going to go for pink enamel accents. Just popping the pin in to make sure I get a nice easy flow. Let's have a go. Oh, it's quite hard. Oh yes, here it comes. That's a bit of a waste, but unfortunately you have to get rid of a fair amount before it starts to flow well, if it's quite old, and this is. Yes, it's 3 or 4 years old, this pot. So let's have, say, 3 on here. 1, 2. I don't want them too large. Have a couple here. Oh, that has to be 3, doesn't it? And then I think I'm going to have 5 over here. I'm going to go mad. 3, 4, 5. And again, they're different sizes, and that's great. I'm pleased with that. And then finally, and this will be the killer, because I've made this card sometimes before, a few times before now actually, and ruined it in the final take, so to speak, by not being careful with the black pigment ink pen. You'll see in a moment why. So I want to come down on that pencil line. Just want the ink to flow first. Yeah, that's better. And coming down on that pencil line, following the line loosely. I don't want to press too heavily. I don't want the line to be too thick. Okay. And then swinging it round. It's going wobbly, and that's fine. That's what I'm after. It's not straight. If you want it straight, use a ruler, but it doesn't look so good. Trust me, I tried it. I've missed a gap there. That's good. That doesn't matter. Just not pressing on the ink pen too hard, because it's too, the ink then runs out and it's too thick. Right, so that's one, okay? So now I'm going to do another one, and this is where I've mucked it up a couple of times before. So very lightly, just drawing in another line. I'm concentrating now, can you tell? Nearly overdid it there. Be careful, Eileen. Okay. It's sort of a doodle line that everyone will think that you meant to do deliberately. And actually I did, didn't I? But okay, I think I get away with that. That's not bad at all. And then one more thing to do. All right, let me show you the original card. Oh, I say, you know, no fingerprints on either of the cards. Oh, that's a first. For me, it is anyway. So, oh, I better not speak too soon, had I? Okay, so you can see I've decoupaged here these leaves. So you get a spare piece of cardstock, stamp out another set of the flowers, the beautiful Lilium. Take your trusty scissors and cut them out, and then put them on with pads, you know, the foam pads. Now, I'm not going to cut mine out because I find cutting out exceedingly boring, and I've done my bit. It is necessary sometimes, it really is, because I think that, you know, the raised flower petals in particular, or leaves, they look so good. And they are so totally necessary, but I just don't like doing it. So I hope that you'll forgive me. So I'm going to pinch the ones that I've done here, lift them off gently, and pop them into place on this one. So that I can at least say that I finished it off, even if I did rob Peter to pay Paul. I know you'll let me off. So there you go. Inky stuff, blending, stamping, great. Cutting out, not so good. Right, I'm finished. I loved making these cards, both of them. I really did. I think, yeah, they both look okay. I think this one's better spaced, actually, with the flower lower down here. I think that one's too high. But at least you know how to make the card, and I'm sure that you could make that adjustment. And it still looks good, but this is better balanced. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much for the lovely comments you leave me, and enjoy your weekend. Monaco Grand Prix this weekend. Oh, so excited. Next year I'm going. Well, I will if I win the lottery. So I'll be back tomorrow with another card. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.